grasp this truth that I'm about to tell you, it'll set you free from religion. It'll set you free from parents and moms and family and governments and police, everybody. It'll set you free. And it's simply this: you are divine. God has exploded in a Crab Nebulae explosion, and he has come and manifested himself as billions of people. And you're one of you, and so am I. When I look at you, I see God. When you look at me, you see God. That's why God's name is I Am. I am God. It doesn't mean that me, God. It means I am. When you say I am God, you have to say, what is God's name? I am. What? I am God. Oh my God, then all the people, Christians run around, I told you they think they're God. I don't think anything on the side. No, Jesus Christ said, the scripture says you are God, and the scripture cannot be broken. So he said it.
Like I'm not third album.
Peace, 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 family. How you all doing? I hope all is well with you. My name is Keisha. I'm the owner of Ascendant Astrology, and I am your astrology coach. Today, we're going to be talking about the new moon in Sagittarius. And so we'll have the new moon in Sagittarius at 20 degrees on December 12th. 20 degrees is a Scorpio degree, and so there's going to be a lot of Scorpionic themes being played out throughout this new moon phase. And so you want to check out my Venus in Scorpio video to get more information on how or what that could look like for you. This can require us to change or transform something. This is a great time to set new intentions for personal growth, education, travel, writing a book, public speaking, starting a YouTube, blogging, podcasting, changing your beliefs, philosophy, culture, studying culture, learning a new language, getting more into your spiritual or practical beliefs, things of that nature. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is still retrograde. And so it may take a while before we see these manifestations come to fruition. But remember, for one, this isn't the real New Year, so there's no real rush. The real New Year is going to be in April or 6 months from now anyway, right? And so another way to think of this is the end of the year for preparation for new goals and things that we will be seeing in another 6 months from now. Now, because Jupiter will turn direct on the 30th of this month, I do think that it's going to reactivate this energy and show us what's to come over the next 6 months. And it'll give us a glimpse of what blessings and spiritual protection and things of that nature that we have coming to us. But we'll be up and down, off and on throughout that 6 month period of time until we get to the 6 months before we start seeing things. Another thing is that, Sagittarius is a mutable sign. And so it's going to square Neptune and Pisces, which can cause confusion, feeling like you don't know things, or things are hidden from you, or even feel like blocked. But on the upswing to that, this could even be how you've been feeling since eclipse season, by the way, because there's just been so much freaking going on since then. And a lot of, just going through Scorpio season in general is like a dark night of the soul. And clearing and letting go and, seeing the truth about things and stuff like that, right? So that's all of what Scorpio rules. So you're going through a transformation just with Scorpio season alone. But essentially, Jupiter is adventurous. These are miracles. This is letting go of how things look, having faith that it's actually what it needs to be. Just do it, get started. Even if you don't know what the outcome is, because Neptune is that area of life of trusting the process, or the footstep prints in the sand, when you was going through hell and you were struggling, it's the spirit saying, I'm covering you, I got your back regardless, right? And so those down times, again, they might seem like times that really suck or that it's bad or you're not going to succeed or, you could feel like, uninspired, right? But essentially, that process is necessary as a way to stop and think before you move forward. You can have your plan, but God's plan for you is way better. And that comes with time, patience, and, some thought. And that all those things happen in your mind. And as soon as you clear your mind, now you have a clear vision, clear goals to move forward and make the decisions that you need to make, right? And so it's necessary to go through that process. And then you have Mercury that's retrograde in Capricorn, that's kind of also adding on to the blockages and things of feeling like the unknown or the mishaps, or every time you try something, you got to try it again. You got to do it all over. Maybe you're making a lot of mistakes. It could be a lot of issues with the internet. Cell phones going off, phone calls dropping, emails that were sent that never really got sent. All the wacky craziness that comes with Mercury retrogrades. These things are all very um possible to make you kind of second guess yourself or doubt yourself, but really it's a test. Anytime we're talking about Saturn, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is also in Pisces. These are all tests. Tests to see how bad it is that you want the things that you are asking for behind closed doors. What are you praying for? What are your goals set up for? All those things come with a certain amount of responsibility, planning and structuring. Um, you know, and doing the hard work before you get to see what that is. And that's all Capricorn wants you to really do is prepare. Preparation is key. And so um outside of that, it's Capricorn is like wants to know, where am I going, what am I doing, and how am I going to get there. This could be thinking things through, writing, learning, studying, reading, gathering information, setting up plans, goal boards, um, you know, itineraries, really, really mapping out your goal. It's kind of the skeletal system, right? Capricorn rules the bone structures, and it's like, what is the outline of what it is you're trying to do? And so really sitting down and taking the time out to really plan that stuff out, right? Um, and so this could also be secret plans, because it's retrograde. So these are things that are going on internal. So another way to look at this downtime is, even if you can't intellectualize that, the thought processes that you're going through and whatever it is you're doing on a daily, regular basis, that's eventually going to come to light when Mercury becomes direct. All these things are happening internally as if it was a secret, as if it's a secret plan that could end up being something quite lucrative and very beneficial to whatever it is you got planned for yourself. So don't sleep on this energy. Although, to be quite frank, I think whether you do or you don't, like I said, spirit has a plan for you. It really doesn't matter. It's going to get you to where it needs to get you by any means necessary. But so it could feel like a superpower where you are intentionally planning, but it's a secret. You might not be telling anybody or showing anybody or talking to people about what you got going on. Really more so because everything's going on internal. It's all in your head. You're dreaming and mapping out your life, but it can be seen as a superpower. And then you come and present, because Sagittarius is about, public service announcements, openings and celebrations and enthusiasm, adventure, and this upbeat energy of something that you're very proud of. because you trust the process, because you trust your spirit guides, because you do your spiritual work, because you believe in the process, because you know when downtime comes, it's time to sleep, rest, relax, share time with your family, check in with your family, ask them questions, see where they're at. Are they ready to come in? Because you could probably use some fucking help or support or things of that nature. It's really just a process of trying things on, testing things out to see what works and what doesn't. And it could be really fun. It could be messy with Mercury and really fucking annoying. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit up here and sell that lie, but generally, an overview or overall, this is actually a really dope ass fucking energy. Um, so you're planning things that align with who you are now, to manifest your future vision. And then you have Jupiter that is still direct, as I had mentioned earlier, but it's been in Taurus for a while now. So Jupiter is kind of learning to absorb what Taurus is asking of Jupiter as they're in this communication together. So Jupiter having been in Taurus, it's been a little over 6 months now, maybe not so much. We might be just at the precipice of that 6 months. I think it was like March or April, maybe even May. So May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Yeah, just a little. We're just getting a little over that six month mark. And so what's happened now is that Jupiter has absorbed the energy of Taurus, and so it's patient, it's more calm and methodical, it's really thinking things through. Again, it's showing you where you're spiritually protected at, it's showing you where you do have a support system and who you can rely on, it's showing you your options and practical solutions, your values and where your mind's at now. It's showing you determination to keep going on whatever it is you're working through, building brick by brick, taking the bricks that people have thrown at you and using those to build and stack on your change and who you are now. What have you learned? And so we have a lot of support during this new moon to focus on long-term goals because that's what Jupiter rules. And we could also be more focused on tradition and spiritual practices that we are learning, the history of them. Capricorn is about the history of where you're from or your lineage or your ancestral bloodline. Um, and the reasons why those things are important, like over time, how have they helped us to do the things or be the people that we are. We're talking about culture here, right? Capricorn and Taurus energy together is very traditional and practical. And so this is somebody who understands that family is important, even though you might want to smack them upside their head. But what are you working on? What are you building together? What are you creating? What are you planning? What are you passing down? What are you preserving to pass down? What are you putting away to pass down? What pavement or what are you paving the way for people to come after you as a generational process or it's culture. I mean, it's culture, just period. It's family, it's culture, it's what real true business was built off of, and understanding that process and the history of it and why it's so important. Um, I don't know why I'm being compelled to share this story. Although I know I've shared it before, but this always makes me think of my grandfather because he was a Taurus, and so he was a minister, and he always taught through philosophy and doing the right thing, getting up in the morning. First thing you do, you don't talk to somebody with like your mouth stanking without going to brush your teeth and wash up. You don't reach over food or ask for food when you haven't done those things yet. And then you eat breakfast together with the family. You pray together with the family. And then my grandfather was very interactive with the kids. He taught, he would test us and give us money and see who would be the one to come back with the money and who spent it. And then he would be like, person who came back with the money, he's like, you're going to be rich one day. You know, he would say stuff like that and really encourage us through these kind of like, you know, just really interacting and teaching, you know, economics essentially. My grandfather only had a third grade education. He came down here from Memphis, Tennessee, and he came by himself. He went and got his degree in becoming a minister. And he and like four or five other guys worked together to build a bunch of different churches in the city of Lynn and around Boston. My grandfather was very well known. And what they did was they used the pyramid system, not the scheme, but the system, and they work together. One person all together would put money in to to buy a church, to build up the community, the process, et cetera, et cetera. And then boom, one of those out of the four had their own church now. And then they would use that church to circulate more money, save more money, build more money for the next church that they bought and build up the community, do what it needs, blah, 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 right? And then that fourth person had a church, and they did that process until every single one of them had a church and were able to take care of their families. And then my grandfather moved the family down here, and we kind of, you know, migrated here and made a life for ourselves, right? This is what economics is and why it's considered culture, or where the combination of economics and culture kind of meet, and why and how you're passing down generational things when you build things and do things in that manner, right? Whatever it is, obviously not everybody's going to have a church, right? But whatever it is you're building, even if it is art, but art that can turn into some kind of money down the line, whatever your gifts and talents are, Capricorn wants you to master that. Taurus wants you to preserve it so that it builds equity or value over time so that it can be passed down for the people who come after you so that they don't have to struggle or go through specific kinds of things, right? And so this is what we're talking about with this energy right here. We can have really big ideas that we're really excited about. Um, um, these can be things that expand our mind. And so we're learning new skills, changing our profession. People might share what they know. I always think of Pisces energy as repenting or um, you know, like the AA people where they get up there and be like, hi, my name is, and I'm an alcoholic. But what did they learn through that process? So sharing your story and your knowledge is very important here. We can learn sustainable practices and working with a group with the connection to Uranus. And we can have these really big ideas that we're excited about, but we're being realistic about them. We might be more motivated to get up and do things like wake up early, work on your goals, be careful for over promising and under delivering, because right now is really not the time to move. Always sell anything that you do right now as if I don't mind trying. I'm open to doing these things, but I don't know if I could commit to them because I do have some stuff that I'm working on. And if it doesn't align with what I'm doing, it's not going to work out anyway. Right. And so even though you want to be nice and reciprocal and open and whatever, be realistic about whether or not that's your path, or is it going to be deviating you or pulling your energy in two separate directions, right? So being honest is the best practice here. We are expanding beyond something we've known before, learning and understanding a higher perspective. It's definitely going to bring some kind of growth, or you're going to see how much you've grown. You can even be reflecting on that with all the retrogrades, like, damn, I've come a long fucking way, bitch. Like, I done been through some shit. And that's where the storytelling comes in, or, you know, I've been through this. Capricorn, opposite of Capricorn is Cancer. And we are talking about the moon here. The moon rules Cancer. And so that aspect is very nostalgic. when it comes to culture in that way, where we're reminiscing. We're kind of talking about family stories, things that we've done together, looking at old pictures, reveling in the times that we did spend together and what we did, and how Uncle what so and so used to always get drunk, fuck out, or whatever house parties or family reunions that you've had, the good old days, the good times, and when people didn't fucking take themselves so seriously and have a fucking stick up their ass, but it's all necessary nonetheless, right? Um, but just, reminiscing and thinking about those good old times and times when things were really good, right? Family stories and hearing about other you know, families that maybe passed away and what they brought and what they left and their story and how we're learning from that and appreciating that knowledge of understanding that, especially now with the holidays going on. I can definitely see a lot more of that going on. It could be some verbal debating here. Still think it's kind of fun. I don't think it's as intense as it was when I was talking about this in Scorpio season. Even though Venus is in Scorpio, I do feel like it's a little bit. I mean, let's just be honest and say it out loud. Like, it could definitely be like the religious conversations versus spiritual conversations and getting into that whole dynamic and argument. But at the same time, I think this is a little bit lighter energy where we can have these and be like, agree to disagree, but we're really just learning, right? We're having conversations as a way to connect with others in a way that really opens us up to perhaps see something about somebody that we never seen before. Like maybe that bitch is really smart, even though she sounds dumb as she might got something there. Things like that could really be happening, or conversations like that can really be taking place. But yeah, um, I think we're going to be motivated, enthusiastic to what we're moving towards, whatever that is for you, because we're learning trust, we're learning faith of what's possible and in the next steps. We're like letting go of expectations that allow you to open up to other perspectives. And then you have the North Node in Aries that'll be connected to this is self-identity, what you're capable of, the courage that you've gained through what you've just been through, to do something on your own. Or again, it's just a new start to something. And then you have Chiron in Aries that's like showing you where you've healed, allowing you to move forward um, from things that you've been through. Um, Something that really taught you who you really were, like taught you your power to stand on it, own it, and don't let anything deviate you from that, and just not holding on to the past or the things that were holding you back from moving forward. And so I really, 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 really like this energy. I've noticed it in my life. Like, I've noticed both. Like, I'm not gonna lie, in certain environments in my life that I occupy, I'll notice where the lower expression is, and I'm like, oh damn, they ain't get the message yet. Don't even feed into that. Acknowledge it. No, tread, motherfucking lightly, bitch. Okay? Because Scorpio sting is gonna sting you, wait till you turn around and hit you in your back, you know, right on the lower vibration, right? And it might not even be intentional, hurt people. A lot of people really do think that what they're doing is okay, even if it is in the lower expressions, but really, it's not you to judge what it is they're doing or how they're acting. It's for you to notice it and see it and know how you're going to move and what your next move is, because it becomes your karma if you react in a mirror response. Ignorance begets ignorance. You're not going to get anywhere with that. It's just another cycle. It's just going to set you back. It's a lesson you're just going to have to learn. And on the flip side of that, some people need to be cursed the fuck out. It just depends on your situation. But how you do it and how you go about it is going to make all the difference. Make sure you're following the rules, you're staying in line, you're being respectful, but still standing up for yourself. And there are all kinds of ways to show up in your power without actually even having to address somebody. And so these are the things that allow you to know that you've grown, you've matured, you've overcome something for real, because you don't even give a fuck anymore. You know, so it just depends, and I've noticed some of the good stuff too, and where I've grown and learned to appreciate those things through other environments and people that I'm connecting with that is starting to open up and I'm allowing myself to be vulnerable and just go with it. Like it came up, it's here, it's in my life, or show up, let's do it. Where we at? What we doing? And let that unfold and play itself out no matter what it looks like. And who knows, you might get a little treat or something. I'm just saying it can turn into something really, 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 really abundant. So I can talk about this stuff all day, y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate you. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Let a bitch know how you feel. Are you resonating or you not? And yeah, I love y'all. I appreciate you. I hope you found this information helpful. Peace.